Today, we're doing a deep dive on the M3 MacBook Pro. I'm a videographer and photographer and have been for 10 years now, and this is my most used piece of gear, and I bought it in November 2023. And I've used it literally every single day, and in this video, I'm gonna give you everything you need to know about if this computer is right for you, if I'm upgrading to the M4 Max, and how it's held up over the last year. Now, I just wanna be clear here, I will be talking about some specs in the MacBook Pro, but the main point of this video is to tell you my experience using it as a creative tool.
Every task has its tools. A painter, their brush. A sculptor, their chisel. A simple nail paired with a sturdy hammer. Each chosen with intent, each essential for the vision to take shape. In the realm of creation, the digital canvas demands its own arsenal. A tool that empowers, not hinders. A tool that keeps pace with the boundless imagination. Yet, too often, we grapple with limitations. But there is another way. A way where the tool becomes an extension of the mind, where power meets precision, a tool that doesn't just keep up, but propels you forward. Choosing the right computer is not merely a purchase, it's an investment in your craft. So choose wisely.
Before I get into my experience with this laptop, I want to give you a little background on me. So like I said, I'm a photographer and videographer. I'm actually a senior video producer here, and I spend a lot of my free time also in video work and photo work. For video editing, I'm mainly in DaVinci Resolve or Adobe Premiere Pro, and then for photo work, it's Lightroom and Photoshop. Now before this M3 MacBook Pro, I was actually on an M1 MacBook Pro in the 14-inch, and before that, it was a 14-inch Razer laptop with the NVIDIA 3080 GPU in there. Now, with the Razer, I actually remember being impressed when I first had it. Sure, I had to use proxies to edit some of the times. It ran really hot. I couldn't use it not plugged in, but for the most part, it did everything I needed it to do. But as for the M1 MacBook Pro, when I saw those were announced and I saw all the reviews and everyone raving about them, I made the switch and had to try it out myself, and I was very impressed. So I really didn't need to use proxies anymore. I could have Lightroom, Photoshop, Premiere all open at the same time. I could use it as a laptop. It didn't have to always be plugged in anymore. It didn't run hot. In fact, the fans barely ever kicked on. They only really kicked on when I was exporting. And by the way, when I used to export, it used to be like, oh, let's clock out for lunch, let's end the day for work, and now they're done in minutes. I was and am still so impressed by these M Series Macs that I really haven't touched a PC since. Now, I still saw room for improvement with the M1 Max though, hence why I upgraded to M3 Max. It still lagged a little bit behind if I had a bunch of graphics or effects on my clips in the timeline. Bottom line though, if I still had the M1 Max MacBook Pro, I could get by on it. It's a great computer. If you still have it, I'm sure it still works for you. But in October 2023, Apple announced the M3 MacBook Pros in that new space black color, and I was sold. Now, I do remember during the announcement, they were showing graphs of how the M3 Max compared to the M1s, and I didn't really know what it means because it's just a graph and I'm not sure how it actually affects my workflow, but it did improve it. And spoiler alert, this is the best computer I've ever owned. So let's just jump right into this review now and get into the pros of the M3 MacBook Pro. My main test for all of these machines is video editing. It's something I do every single day, and it's the most stressful thing I can ask my computer to do. So I'm most typically working with 4K footage. I usually have a lot of graphics and effects on my timeline. And recently I've been having a lot of timelines open at the same time so I can copy and paste between the two. Like I said, I've also been dabbling with 8K RAW, so I actually took some shots that I definitely didn't need to take in 8K RAW, but did just so I could show you how they work in the timeline here. So we're just gonna do some editing tests on this MacBook. This is the M3 MacBook Pro. It's the 16-inch, it's got 36 gigs of unified memory or RAM, and then 2 terabytes internal storage. All right, so this sequence I actually shot in 8K RAW on my Canon R5 Mark II, and you saw it earlier in the video, and I just shot it in 8K RAW just to show you how it would play in the timeline. So this is 8K RAW playback. It's a little stuttery, so you can see it's like not perfectly smooth. It's a couple seconds after I play it, but once I hit play, I'm getting every frame as I'm going through. And this has color applied. There's no really other effects. I could add I have these effects right here, like a little slow scale in, which I think I have anyways later. Once I hit play, there we go. So it's doing the slow scale in, it looks great, and it's playing just fine. So what I use mostly, obviously I'm editing in 4K mostly, and just to show you, like this is just on cam with heavy color applied. It just, no frames dropped whatsoever. Plays absolutely perfect all the way through and through. B-roll, let's see. This one's got a heavy warp stabilization. You can kind of see it there, so the warp's not beautiful. I'll have to go in and fix that, but It plays perfectly, no drop frames. I'm in the full window. So sometimes when I'm using this 8K RAW, like when this, let's go to like this clip. So unrendered 8K RAW clip, you'll see like I hit play, it's almost like 2 seconds before it starts. So there's definitely room for improvement. So sometimes as a little trick, I will go up into this window and I'll hit like, put it on 8th quality, just so it plays back. Look how much smoother that plays back. It's almost instant. Now it's playing back almost perfect. So that's a huge trick I do with 8K RAW. But the fact that that's all I have to do, I don't have to use proxies, is amazing. That's 8K RAW. I mean, that one sequence is like 45 gigs of footage. Hey, I'm never gonna shoot a whole video in 8K RAW, at least not yet. I can't even tell the difference, really. I don't know if you can, but man, that is so impressive. And like I said, I'm almost always in 4K. So now let me show you test export times. Let's just export this sequence here, just to see how long this takes. So this is about, what? A little less than a minute of 8K footage, but obviously it's on a 4K timeline, so we'll export 4K. 38-second clip. So let's see what this 38-second clip, how fast it takes. Okay, so side note, I do want to mention the fans have kicked on slightly for the export. Very slightly, you can barely hear them, so pretty impressive. Oh, and it's done, exporting. That's cool. So that was kind of fast. What was that? That was like 3 minutes. 3 minutes for 38 seconds of 8K RAW footage. Not bad. Let's do a minute of 4K footage. Let me go down here. 4K export. Okay, let's try that. Okay, so 8K RAW is the problem. Don't use that. I don't know why I'm using that. I used it for you. So please like this video because I now have to store that footage forever because I'm one of those people. Okay, so a minute of 4K footage just exported in 20 seconds. Oh, also notice that in Premiere there, the fans didn't even kick on when I was exporting the 4K footage. That's so cool. So it's not heating up at all. So if you're using this in your lap, it's not heating up at all. That's amazing. Great, let's try this in DaVinci, shall we? So let's mess with this 8K footage. 8K footage, playing. So you can see up here, it's dropping a frame or two. It's dropping a frame or two, but that's pretty impressive. Let's try on this shot. It's dropping a frame or two. Let's try adding some color here. So let's do the Canon log to Rec 709. It's dropping some frames. Now it's good. It drops 2 or 3 frames, and then it works perfect. So, and scrubbing works great, man. So DaVinci actually works better than Premiere. I guess that's not that much of a surprise. Let's get a denoise in there, huh? It's not even noisy. Or noise reduction. Noise reduction. Let's see. Noise reduction added. How many frames we got? Wait. Okay, I just added noise reduction and that did nothing. It dropped a couple frames, as it has been. Just a couple frames, as you can see up here in this corner. Let's see, a couple frames, now it's 24, that's what I shot it in. That's with noise reduction on, that's amazing, that's a heavy effect. Okay, super impressive. Now let's try exporting that 38 seconds. Everything looks good there, let's try this test. So 8K RAW, add the render queue and render. That's less than a minute. I mean, I can show you the 4K playing perfectly in here too if you want, but I think that's just a waste of time. Obviously it plays really good. DaVinci's amazing. Let's hop into Lightroom. Typically, the way I use Lightroom is I take a ton of pictures and then I send those files to Photoshop and I merge them together and then I send them back to Lightroom and finish the editing and export them from there. So it's pretty memory intensive because it's got Photoshop open with all the files and Lightroom open with all the edits. And I don't typically delete my Photoshop files. I probably should, but I'm lazy and I don't typically have to, but that is where I will run into a memory problem. I'll run out of memory and have to close one of the applications when I'm exporting in Lightroom and I have Photoshop open with a bunch of files. Now, I don't have any files to really edit like that right now, but I would like to show you a Lightroom export test. So these photos I just took recently. So here is 124 HDR images that I will export. Let's see how long it takes to export in Lightroom. That's plenty fast for me. That means I don't have to like get up and leave my computer. I can just wait for them to export. Now, as for the 36 gigabytes of unified memory, I've never run into another problem. I multitask all the time. I have several Premiere files open at once, so I can copy and paste between the two if they use the same B-roll. I multitask with meetings. Sometimes I'll be editing while a meeting's going on or doing something else.
Lopez, I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to meet with me. We're going to be talking about your yearly performance.
Yeah, no problem, man. That sounds good.
Yeah, actually, it's not that good. We've noticed that you've been slacking off quite a bit this past year, and this is going to be your final warning.
Yeah, dude. Okay, I'm glad you brought this up because Slack's been giving me a lot of problems. I haven't got like anyone's notifications.
Are you? No. I'm saying you need to be working harder, producing more deliverables. Are you even listening?
Of course, man. I'm producing one right now, I promise. I'll get it to you like end of month.
End of month?
Yeah, does that work for you?
No, it doesn't work for me.
Well, dude, I have another meeting, so I'm just gonna have to go, but that's gonna have to work, all right?
What? You don't have another meeting. I can see your schedule right here.
Yeah, dude, I'm actually meeting your boss, so I gotta go, but thanks for this.
What are you doing?
Gaming is also really solid on the MacBook. I truthfully don't play that many games, but the performance is impressive. I feel like I'm playing on a Windows PC or even a PlayStation 5. It feels very smooth. It looks really good. I'm excited for more and more games to be optimized for the Mac. But anyways, I suck at this. So let's go touch some grass. Okay, so this display is amazing for photo and video work. It's a liquid retina XDR display. It's got a 1,000,000:1 contrast ratio and has 1 billion colors. So I'm not really sure exactly what all that means, but I do know it seems really color accurate. So, for example, when I'm editing photos and I export them to my phone, they look exactly how I edited them. Or when I'm exporting a video and I put it on my smart TV, that looks really good too. And the biggest test is when I'm printing my photos, they look exactly how I edited them on this laptop screen. This display is also plenty bright when it's being hit directly by the sun. I can use it outside. In XDR, it gets up to 1,000 nits, and in SDR, it gets up to 600 nits. Okay, on to battery life, which is a huge separator from these new M series Macs to a PC. Unplugged, this gets 22 hours of playback of Apple TV. But what's even more impressive to me is that I can use this computer and get the same power plugged in and unplugged. So even while I'm out here drinking coffee and enjoying the outside, I can edit and do everything I would do sitting at my desk. This is so important to me because now this laptop is actually a laptop. Like previous computers, when you have to be plugged in all the time, it's like a laptop, you can take it on the go, but when it's not as powerful, it's almost like this is just like a desktop, so I have to use it while I'm plugged in. This computer, I have edited on a plane, I've edited in cars, I go to coffee shops, I go to the office, I don't even have to bring a charger. That part is really huge to me. I like being able to take this computer wherever I go and be able to get work done more efficiently. So as for portability, it's a very portable machine, but I do have a hot take here. I've noticed a lot of people go with the 14-inch to be more portable, but like I said, I had an M1 Max 14-inch before this, and I didn't like it for using it as a laptop. It doesn't really fit on my lap, it's too small. I'm only 6 foot nothing, so it's not like I'm a huge person, but it doesn't fit on my lap, so I have to like balance it in between my legs kind of when I'm editing on a couch or on the go. I also need, or just prefer, the 16-inch screen size, so when I'm editing, I can have all my windows open. Like in DaVinci, you can't really rearrange the windows. It's so nice to have the bigger screen for that. Let me know if you agree with me or if you would go for the 14-inch over the 16-inch, but personally, I prefer the 16-inch, which is why I upgraded to M3 Max. All right, well, it started snowing, so let's go back inside. As for the ports, it's got basically everything I really need. It's got 3 USB-C ports, which are all Thunderbolt 4, high speeds. It's got an HDMI port, so I can plug it into a monitor. It's got the MagSafe charger, which, love that. It's got an SD card slot, which is amazing, although I did start shooting with these Canons with the CFast Express card, so I still have to use a little dongle, but that's the only dongle I have, which is amazing. It's also got the 3.5mm headphone jack, which I don't really use that much. I use the AirPods or speakers since I'm obviously in a garage. I'm not bothering anyone with playing sound, but still nice to have. As for the keyboard and the trackpad, it's the best in the game when it comes to laptops. I've tried a bunch of others and none compared to this one. I genuinely enjoy using it. I've never had any problems. Also, Touch ID is so useful. As for the speakers, you've probably already heard about them, but they're high fidelity 6-speaker sound system and it sounds better than any other laptop I've used also. Now, I use them quite often when I'm in the garage editing. I did get the Apple Studio display, so now I'm kind of using those speakers more, but the laptop speakers are incredible and I use them all the time. I'm also in a lot of video meetings nowadays, and as for the webcam and the microphone, they're perfectly capable to get you through a meeting. They're nothing special. As for the camera, it's a 1080p or HD camera, and it looks perfectly fine. I would say just fine, exactly middle. It doesn't look great, but it doesn't look bad. There's definitely room for improvement there. All right, let's talk about the cons. And let's be real, there's only one main con, and that's the price. Now, if you want to buy my laptop, the M3 Max MacBook Pro with 36 gigs of RAM, 2 terabyte storage, this one's the closest I could find on the refurbished site, and it's got a little less storage, it's only 1 terabyte, and it's going for $2,899 before taxes. Now, if you want to future-proof yourself and buy the M4 Max with the same specs as mine, besides the chip, of course, that starts at $3,899 before taxes. So obviously that's a significant investment, and I don't know you or what you need or what your workflow is, but if you're serious about content creation and you can afford it and you want that power, then I think it's worth it. Yeah, it sucks that you have to pay for it, but that's how things work, and this is my most used piece of gear, like I said. It's also probably my most reliable piece of gear. This thing has held the test of time. I've brought it everywhere. I'm not necessarily light on it. I use it. I throw it in backpacks. I take it on trips. I'm editing on planes. I'm editing on the road. I'm editing at the office, at cafes, outside, in a garage where my studio is currently. It just works. Overall, the M3 Max MacBook Pro has been an absolute game changer for my workflow. If you need more speed, if you need more power, if you need the portability, this is where you look. The M3 Max MacBook Pro has been amazing for me. I'm not going to be upgrading to the M4 Max or the M4 Pro. They are great. They seem awesome. I love the new screens. But for me, the M3 Max still does everything I need. I don't see myself upgrading for another couple of years. And that's really saying something because I'm a guy that likes to upgrade to all the newest gear. I wish I wasn't that way, but I am. I have the newest cameras. I usually have a new MacBook Pro. I have all the new phones. But I am seriously so happy with the M3 Max MacBook Pro. If you can find a good deal on one, highly recommend it. The M4s are great too. But yeah, that's been my 1 year experience with the M3 Max MacBook Pro. Thanks for watching this video. I really appreciate it. If it helped you out in any way, consider liking it and subscribing to the channel. And if you have any questions about this laptop or about photo editing, video editing, anything really, if you want to see more of me, comment down below. I'll do my best to answer them. And that's really it for me. I'll see you in the next one.